We got him cornered, boss! The bastards have no chance of winning now!
Grand Kingdom takes place in a fantasy world plagued by war. 4 nations are battling for control over the continent after the fall of the Udine Empire 100 years ago. Players are the leader of a clan within the guild, a mercenary group who welcomes in those without a home. The larger story involves rival clans and a group of rebels trying to resurrect the empire through dark means. It goes some interesting places, and the leader's assistants, Flint and Lilia, make for an entertaining duo, but it doesn't do much beyond Grand Kingdom's true focus, gameplay. While the story may be simplistic, the mechanics aren't, so let's delve through them slowly. First of all, players can create up to 6 groups of 4 character parties. Team members can be hired and will randomly generate daily in a pool of 8. There are a variety of classes that's fairly standard in terms of RPGs, including melee, ranged, magic, and supportive roles. Every character can be customized, and while it may not be as dynamic as other creation systems, it does the job well enough. It's important to use strategy when deciding the lineup even before the battle begins. An obvious statement if ever there was one, but here's an example of a group Grand Kingdom starts players off with. Medic, Witch, Fighter, and Hunter. The fighter can protect the party in the front, dealing out heavy damage and absorbing blows, as the other 3, all ranged, can hang back and launch attacks from afar. A useful ability for the fighter later on forms a protective guard across the whole party, making his defensive stance even more useful. As other heroes level up, their diversity on the battlefield also increases, making the team feel like they're really evolving from experience. Running into an enemy icon on the mission map will trigger combat. Each character has a move and action gauge. Heroes can move freely between the 2D space, separated by 3 lanes, until the meter runs dry or the player halts progress. Each skill depletes the action gauge similar to a magic meter in other RPGs, from standard weapon slashes to obliterating area magic. Any leftover move energy is converted into actions, which is a nice bonus. Story and side missions are fairly basic, involving defeating enemies, capturing points, finishing objectives, and so on. There are also a number of free-range territories without objectives, littered with loot and enemies to tackle at the player's leisure, and are a great place to grind. Another good way to gain experience is through online play. By choosing a nation to align with, players will support that side in online warfare by going through battles manually or by dispatching teams. This is a good reason why players should establish more than one party. Diversifying groups and strategically sending them out between online and offline play will grant better and more frequent rewards, thus accelerating the clan's prowess. As fun as Grand Kingdom can be, there's a lot of technical jargon to climb over. It's easy to jump in, but it's hard to master. The game's odds are seemingly stacked against the player from the beginning. Once the party, or parties, level up, those options seem to tilt further on the hero's side. Like real war, it's a great emulation of conquering challenges in the greatest of odds. It's nowhere near as domineering as, say, Dark Souls, but it's not simple either. It's a grind, but one worth fighting for. Visually, Grand Kingdom is spectacular on a small scale, with graphics reminiscent of a painting. It looks good on PS4, but even better on the PS Vita's smaller screen. The music is fittingly similar to the Final Fantasy Tactics, and the English dub, while minimal, is great too. The game's overall design in general is spectacular, especially with its use of online integration. There are a few pitfalls though, including the aforementioned slow build, long load times, and the inability to save while on a mission. Some quests are a bit long without the latter option and can become tedious. Grand Kingdom is another reason why the PS Vita should exist. The design of the game's mechanics, both online and off, are more fitting for a handheld. It's great the option is there for PS4 players, and it runs smoothly on there as well, but for this writer's money, the PS Vita is the way to go. The few gripes there are become overshadowed by everything else. It's gorgeous fun and addictive as hell. A perfect summertime treat. As a final note, yes, this is the PS4 version, but that's because I cannot capture PS Vita footage. So I took some of that gameplay so you can have a better understanding of how the game works from my review. Anyway, that's it from me. See you next time.
Hey, did you know that you're watching the Reaction Examiner YouTube channel? That's me. You should subscribe. You should also subscribe and read my writing over on Examiner.com, where I write about video games. And hey, while you're at it, check out my Patreon, because I want to upgrade my YouTube channel to better and brighter things. And hey, speaking of YouTube channels, check out The Misadventures of Team Sexy Pants, where me and my best gal pal Matilda talk about putting things in the holes. It's a comedy sex podcast for the ages. I have a lot of other links as well, but you should go in the description notes below and you'll find all that cool stuff. For now, I'm just going to sit here a little bit longer while you decide what to click on.
Subscribe.